Hello everybody, it's Cygnus here with a new build video. It's been a while since I've posted the last video because I've kind of been busy with stuff and also testing out, of course, Heart of Thorns. But I have created a new spec that I think you guys will enjoy, so I'm going to share that with you in this video today. Let's jump into the build right away. And to start it off with the gear, the weapon sets we're using is Mace, Shield, and Greatsword. Some of you might recall this set from an old build called the Skullcracker. Most people know it like that because this build aims to set up 100 blades by using Skullcrack, the Mace Burst skill, and then swapping to Greatsword and doing a lot of damage. Um, this build also revolves around that combo, but you have another combo that you can use in Headbutt, the new rage skill from Berserker, and it also themes around a lot of healing, and I'm talking about a lot of healing here, guys. It's absolutely the most insane amount of healing I've ever seen on any spec in Guild Wars 2. Let's jump into the build and look at the gear first. For the armor, we're using full Berserker with superior rune of the Defender. This is a new rune. I think it's been out for like a couple months. And I've started using it recently because Warrior felt really squishy after the Heart of Thorns patch hit. All elite specializations do a shit ton of damage, and the Warrior seemed to do alright in the DPS department, but not as much in the survivability department. So I started looking for solutions to that, and Superior Rune of the Defender really helps. You obviously get some healing power from it, but the extra effects are really great. First of all, when you block a foe's attack, which we're going to be doing a lot with Mace number 2 and Shield stance, then you get um, 1 second of regeneration, which is not correct, actually. The tooltip is wrong. You actually get 2 seconds of regeneration, and there is no cooldown. So you probably noticed that sometimes when you're fighting outnumbered, when you're using shield stance, that you block like 20 attacks during those 3 seconds, right? Um, if you actually did block 20 attacks, then you'd get 40 seconds of regeneration from one shield stance. Now, of course, it's not always going to be this good, but if you just block 10 attacks or 5 or something, then you get some pretty awesome regeneration uptime. The fourth effect is when you use a heal skill, you gain Aegis for 5 seconds. So you think this is counterproductive because you're almost never going to use Healing Signal, right? And unless you get like Condi Bombed. But the sixth effect from this rune is that when you block a foe's attack, you heal yourself. It's a 4k heal, so that's pretty substantial. It's on a 30-second cooldown, and every time it procs, then you also get the Aegis from the fourth effect. So all in all, this rune is pretty good in itself, and you'll see later on that combined with some of the trade choices that we make and the food choices and everything, that you're going to get an absolutely crazy amount of healing on this build. So stick with me and we're going to take a further look at that. So like I said, full Berserk on the gear, on the trinkets as well, and also on the weapon sets. So the stats you see here are incredibly glassy, but that helps us with our damage output. So on the mace, I use Superior Sigil of Paralyzation, which gives us a plus 30% stun duration, helps with the mace burst skill, and it also increases the stun on shield, bash, and headbutt. The shield has Superior Sigil of Energy. This should be considered your defensive set. So Sigil of Energy just gives you another dodge to mitigate some damage when you swap to this set. On the Greatsword, we use Superior Sigil of Hydromancy and Leeching. This is a combination I think that I first came across in a video of Tap That Mouse. I think it's a really good combination actually. Usually I'd go with air and fire for more DPS, but this build really focuses on good DPS while maintaining incredible survivability. So the Sigil of Leeching came to mind, and what this combination allows you to do is that as soon as you swap to Greatsword, if you hit with the Superior Sigil of Hydromancy, which is instantly upon swapping, then you also proc the Sigil of Leeching. So you're instantly doing like a 2 or 2.5k damage burst. you're chilling your foe, and you're stealing health from them. So it's more regen. Alright, so this concludes the gear. Now let's take a look at the traits. For the trait lines, we're using defense, discipline, and berserker, obviously. In defense, we pick Shield Master, which gives us reflect on our blocks, of which we have two. So also counter blow on the mace becomes a reflect if you don't block a melee attack, and you get some might when you're blocking. Also, the shield skills are reduced, have reduced cooldowns, so you can use shield stance more often, get more of the regen procs from Rune of the Defender. So that's a pretty good synergy right there. Of course, Adrenal Health adds some base regeneration, and because you're using Mace and you often have to be patient to land your burst, you're going to sit on quite a bit of adrenaline pretty often. So this actually adds quite a bit of regen. In the first major trait, the second major trait, you're using Defy Pain trait, so you're automatically gonna practice. It just adds to your survivability. It doesn't break stun like it says here, but it's just good all in all for that clutch survivability. Armored Attack is a decent replacement if you just need some more DPS, but I definitely go with the Defy Pain trait here. Right. Spiked armor gives us a little bit of toughness and retaliation, whatever. It's not really a good trait, but the Grandmaster trait is really one of the pillars of this build. It's rousing resilience. This trait actually got buffed a while ago to not only give you 1000 toughness every time you break a stun, but also heals you for 2624 HP. With the introduction of Berserker, you got some rage skills, and one of them I'm going to talk about right now is Outrage. We're going to use this skill, and it breaks you out of a stun, gives you a little bit of adrenaline for each foe near you. But the real selling point of this is that it's on a 10-second cooldown. So you're almost always going to have a stun breaker up, which allows us to not get stability on our utility bar. And every time you break a stun, you get 1000 toughness, you get a small heal, and you're just incredibly tanky with just this trait and this utility skill. And even if it's on cooldown, then you still have Endure Pain, Headbutt, which is also stun break, and even the activation of Berserk mode as a stun break. So you have 4 stun breaks in total, of which one is on a really low cooldown. This trait is absolutely great in my opinion right now. Of course, Cleansing Ire is good for condition removal, and Balance Stance is less stand is good for stability, whatever. But this build revolves around getting that toughness from rousing resilience, being incredibly tanky while using full berserk gear. It's awesome. Right, so in discipline, not a lot of surprises here. You take warrior sprint for the movement speed and the immobilize cleansing. Brawler's recovery, obviously, this is pretty much our only reliable source of condition removal, so use Berserker Stance and Healing Signet whenever you really have to counter like a condition bomb. And then Heightened Focus as the Grandmaster trait. This really helps with our bursts. As soon as you get the Skull Crack combo or the Headbutt into Berserk mode, into 100 Blades, then the Heightened Focus really helps if you get your target below 50% to accelerate the damage that you're dealing to them. And the damage is going to be good, but it's not going to be as great as like a build that focuses around strength, obviously, because you get a lot of damage modifiers from that. But it's going to be good enough, and with this, it's going to be really fast as well. So great trait to pick up to boost our offense. Then in Berserker, we're going to get the Savage Instinct trait, which means that activating Berserk mode breaks a stun. Well, we've talked about that a bit before, but this allows for a pretty sweet combo. You headbutt, which actually stuns yourself. Then you break the stun with activating Berserk mode, because headbutt gives you full adrenaline, so you can always activate it if you manage to hit the headbutt. Then you break the stun, you can start 100 blading them to the face, and while you're doing that, the break of the stun gives you the rousing resilience boost. So you get some healing and you get the incredible toughness from this trait. So that's a really good synergy with our build as well. The small trait here, always angry, gives you just some extra damage, 7%, which is like a good boost. Not too much to be said about this. Blood reaction is what further boosts our damage. It gives you 14% of your precision as ferocity if you enter berserk mode, and 7% if you're not in berserk mode. So if we look at my stats right now, it's 221.4% critical damage, which is already pretty good. If you enter berserk mode, it goes up to 230. So even though this build has a little bit less power because of the runes, obviously, and maybe a little bit less fury uptime, you still manage to do a lot of damage, especially in berserk mode. Also because you get Fatal Frenzy, which gives you Fury and Quickness when you swap to Berserk mode. So even if your target is not below 50% for heightened focus to proc, you get the quickness anyway if you manage to go into Berserk mode and stun them, go into Berserk mode, start 100 blading them, and you're going to have quickness for pretty much the entire duration. And if you get them below 50% before your quickness ends, then you're going to have like a 7-second quickness window. That's pretty crazy in my book. So, and the Fury, of course, boosts your critical chance up to about 70% when you enter Berserk mode. So that's pretty awesome as well. The last trait we get in Berserk mode is a really important one. It's Eternal Champion. I mean, like I said before, we don't slot stability, utility, skill, or the automatic stability from Last Stand. And you do need to stomp somebody sometime, right? In like an outnumbered fight. So Eternal Champion allows you to do this because you have 4 stun breakers, and every time you break a stun, you gain 3 seconds of stability. 3 seconds is not that much, and channeling a stomp is probably, I think, takes a little bit longer than 3 seconds, but sometimes people will try to interrupt you before the 3 seconds are over. So it's pretty good in that aspect, and also you get a pulsing stability in Berserk mode. As an added bonus, every time you break a stun, you not only get stability, but also 3 stacks of might. So that's another 90 powers to boost our somewhat lowish power compared to full Berserk strength builds. Great trait to pick up as our last trait here. So this is the build in general. Something I want to show to you guys is the incredible amount of regeneration you get with this build. To sum it up for you, first of all, we have obviously the healing signet that gives us 371 health every second. Then if you manage to use your blocks efficiently, like the shield stands and the mace block, then you can get a lot of uptime on the regeneration boon, which heals you for like, I think it's 152 health every second, with the healing power that we get from the rune as well. Then for food, I'm using mango pie, which gives us a little bit of vitality and a health regeneration effect every second, which cannot be stripped, obviously. I think it's an 85 HP per second regen. And then if we're talking about regeneration, we also of course have the adrenal health regeneration from the defense trade line. If we average that to be at level 2, then the healing is going to be 84 per second. It's going to be 250 every 3 seconds, so that's 84 per second. This already gives us a base regen every second of 692 HP, which is pretty crazy by itself. But then we also get a few burst heal capabilities. First of all, you have the Sigil of Leeching, which heals you for if you manage to hit an opponent with the Sigil Hydromancy, then you get instantly healed for I think 975 HP. It's not a whole lot, but if you manage to proc it often enough, and you will in an outnumbered fight, then this actually adds quite a bit of HP over time. The second way we can get some more healing is obviously the Rune of Defender. With the 6th effect, when you block a foe's attack, you heal yourself. This actually makes it so that you have to adjust your playstyle a little bit. Don't start a fight off blocking. because you're gonna proc this effect straight away, and then you're gonna heal yourself for 0 because you're still at full HP. So you're allowed to tank a bit of damage before you start blocking and heal yourself back up. So yeah, this heal is actually 4,025 with the healing power that we get. So that's a pretty big heal. It's 20% of your HP. And the last effect, obviously, is the rousing resilience. 2,624 every time you break a stun, which is going to be often. You have 4 stun breaks. Stuns are everywhere right now. There's literally not a single class that doesn't have a lot of stuns, fears, pulls, knockbacks, knockdowns, whatever. I mean, those also count. So make sure to use outrage a lot to get your adrenaline, break your stun, get your toughness from rousing resilience, and get your HP regeneration going. If we, like, to give you guys an example, if you take like a fight that goes on for the course of a minute and you proc Sigil of Leeching like 3 times, Rune of Defender, the heal from Rune of Defender 2 times, and let's say Rousing of Resilience 4 times, I think that should be possible over the course of a minute, then you're gonna get like 21k HP from just these 3 effects, which amounts to like 358 HP per second. If you add that to the region that we already had, the 692 from the other effects, you're gonna get like 1050 HP per second. It's completely crazy. And the beauty of it is that where Healing Signet is completely vulnerable to bursts and won't heal you up quickly enough, like you could see in the introduction with the HP bar I was showing, you actually get a nice burst heal from some of these traits and runes. The Rune Defender, the 4k heal. If you manage to also like break out of a stun once or twice with Rousing Resilience, then you're gonna heal back like 50% or more of your HP in like 2 or 3 seconds. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna have to use this kill here, or I'll be kicked from the server. To sum it up, this build has a crazy amount of healing. You get sweet 3400 toughness every time you break out of a stun from Rousing Resilience, and to top it all off, you've still got the amazing burst potential from the Mace Shield into Greatsword combo. The headbutt really complements the build as well. I can actually use it to proc the rousing resilience trait, so it's just great synergy with a lot of traits and skills on this build. That sums it up. If you guys like the video, of course, make sure to subscribe, like the vid, and I'm gonna end the video with like 10 minutes of roaming clips. I've had some interesting duels in the short while that I've been using this build. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys like the vid, and I'll see you on the next video.